Hey everybody, welcome back to the Joe Rockstar channel. Recently I got a chance to ride an electric dirt bike. I swung my leg over the Alta Redshift at the AEO Power Sports Demo Day at Arizona Cycle Park. A tough place to shoot a review as there were a lot of other bikes on the course, and we didn't get the opportunity to see how this bike really handles in single track.
All right, here we are. We're gonna test this electric doohickey here. All right, so we turned it on, we push this button, no engine starts, but the bike is live, there it goes.
And then there's this guy. Nice wheelie, dude. I've never seen one of those before. Oh, and by the way, did you notice that I'm on an electric dirt bike? Are you not impressed? Cause I am. I'm a product of the 70s, man. I never expected to see something that was powered by batteries that was cooler than a Walkman or a television remote control. And here I am on an honest to God, no shit electric motorcycle. So, Mr. Show-Off Wheelie Man, you can take your bourgeois wheelies and shove them up your ass. I'm trying to shoot a review over here. Roll the intro. A few weeks ago, I volunteered to work as part of the track crew for the Enduro cross race in Scottsdale, Arizona. If you haven't seen the video from that day, well, it means you don't watch enough Joe Rockstar channel. And it's been scientifically proven that Joe Rockstar deficiency has been linked to decreases in testosterone levels in males and a steep drop in libido for women. Fortunately for you, there's a free cure. Just click the subscribe button below this video and then click the little bell icon next to it to receive your prescription and an automatic notification when your next refill is ready. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, we were talking about the time I volunteered to work Enduro cross. Well, as luck would have it, during the morning practice and qualifiers, I got my first glimpse at an electric dirt bike, the Alta Redshift.
We got one of those newfangled electric bikes coming through. Here it is.
Later, I spoke with the number 222 rider from AEO Power Sports about the bike.
It's a ton of fun. It's not as physically demanding as you think. I can actually do more laps on this than I can my standard bike. There's no shifting. It's got immediate power all the time, so it's actually really fun to ride.
Does it take a lot of getting used to after you've been on a...
No, not really. It just kind of depends. Obviously, it's different from everybody, just kind of depending on what you're riding, what you're set up. Pulling the clutch isn't a big issue. The gears, honestly, you got power when you need it, so you never really feel the urge to shift or downshift. Pros and cons on it, but it's super fun to ride. I just don't have a lot of time on it, so today was my first day kind of really riding on this stuff, so yeah. Definitely a learning curve to kind of get the obstacles set up without using the clutch.
Yeah, no slip in the clutch, huh?
Well, yeah, exactly. No slip in the clutch, kind of control the front end, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Is it balanced like a normal bike, or is it feel
yeah, this is all battery and it's got a fairly low center of gravity, but there's no rotating crank or piston, so once you're moving and riding, it actually doesn't feel real heavy at all.
So would you recommend it?
Definitely a ton of fun to ride, but I wouldn't say it's for everybody.
Yeah.
This is our demo with AEO Power Sports, so I definitely encourage everyone to ride it. It definitely changes your outlook on it.
So I took his advice, and I rode it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll try not to wreck your bike, man.
Yeah. Something strange happened to me when I got on this bike.
Whoa!
Immediately, I began to experience an inability to form complete sentences, and a general loss of wit, and a complete failure to properly articulate the experience I was having. I want to call this a legitimate symptom of electric dirt bike euphoria. The Alta Redshift is fun to ride. My biggest concern was that there's no clutch or gears to shift. I mean, what's the throttle going to respond like? By the manufacturer's specs, this bike has 40 horsepower and can reach speeds up to 65 miles per hour. And if there's no gears to shift, would all that power come on as soon as I crack the throttle?
Where's the clutch? Where's the clutch? All right, so it's really weird taking off without a clutch, without any engine sound.
My concerns were quickly put to rest as the power comes on very easy when you ease the throttle open. Yet it'll still loft the front wheel up if you blip it.
Okay, so it wants to be ridden fast, I can tell you that. I don't feel any struggle to get up the hill. Maybe a little bit more than my bike. The power is easily controlled in map 1. gotta hit that a little faster if I want to clear that. Alright, now we're going to try map 2 and see what that's like.
The Redshift has 4 map settings that control the power. The settings can be switched on the fly with your left thumb. The higher the map, the more aggressive the power would come on. And to be honest, I never got past map 3. And really, if we're being honest, in a tight single track ride, I don't see a need to get out of map 1, and 2 would probably be more than enough for most riders. There was definitely a wow factor when riding this bike, but there were some things I didn't like as well. First of all, at 265 pounds, she weighs the same as my 500 EXC. Although the weight is not noticeable when riding, I would bet picking it up after a get-off is no fun. But then again, when is it ever fun to pick up a bike after a get-off? So maybe that's just me nitpicking. But the balance of that weight does feel off a little bit. The bike feels very light in the front, and as a result, the first few times I jumped it, it felt like the front end wanted to keep rising into a sky wheelie.
Oh my gosh, it's just instant power, like wherever you need it. It doesn't hesitate at all when you give it gas.
In addition, the ergonomics will take some getting used to. The bike is thin, and when I tried to grip it with my knees, it made the riding position feel a little strange. It's definitely going to take some getting used to. But what really hurts this bike is the same thing that makes it unique. It's electric, and that requires a battery. The limited battery life and the ridiculous price tag sink this bike in my opinion. This bike has an MSRP of $15,000 US. At that price, I would expect to get more range out of the battery. Now Alta claims you can ride it for 2 hours, but I'm sure that's just a marketing exaggeration, tested while the bike was just putting around at map 1. Talking to the guy who races it, he makes some more realistic claims about the battery.
I think the big question for most people is how long can you ride it for?
It really,
before you're in trouble.
Like, so today I went through all the practicing on it, and we haven't had it on charger, and I've used
Nice.
quarter battery maybe.
Do you think you can get through like an hour and a half Enduro or something on it?
We haven't done that yet. There's 4 maps that are just on the fly. Obviously each map is a very different power delivery. So some of the Hare and Hound guys have done on like map 1 or 2, but more for like a C level rider. Those guys were able to do the miles on it. For a faster A, double A, using map 4, 3 is where you want the power to be. I don't know if we can go that long. We almost raced it at Tucson. But yeah, we haven't got a chance to really put it to a test and see how long. We've done like single track trail riding, toying around riding, and we've hour to 2 hours.
You know, the Sandy's coming up on the 12th.
Yeah,
should bring it out there.
Yeah.
Then there is the charging aspect. The battery can take up to 4 hours to charge on a 120 volt power source. Now you can cut that in half when using 240, but gassing up a conventional bike takes under 5 minutes. Now let's talk about maintenance. There's no top end, no oil changes, no air filters. Not really much other than check the tires and light the fires. According to the manufacturer, you can even run the bike underwater when crossing streams without drowning it. Now the battery will retain about 80% of its capacity for 1,000 cycles. Unfortunately, as of the making of this video, I was unable to find a price for a new battery online. And that's not exactly a good thing, because it makes you wonder how inconvenient it's going to be to find spare parts for this machine. My overall opinion, I just can't get past the question of why to buy this bike. Environmental reasons are just BS. The dirt bike market is so small that reducing emissions on these bikes is political hyperbole. There is no way that going after dirt bikes is a serious way to protect the environment. Not to mention, the generator I would use to charge the bike in the field runs on gas. And what about charging at home, you might ask? Well, now you're burning coal and other fossil fuels. And if you're off the grid using only wind and solar, well then have fun riding your bike once a year when it finally reaches its full charge. I want to steer clear of political discussions, but this just feels like a politically motivated and moot selling point. Now on the other hand, the characteristics of the electric motor versus gas feels like a more valid reason for buying this bike. It is absolutely a fun to ride, stealthy rocket ship. I really did like the way the power came on. It was manageable, and with no gears to worry about, I could focus my attention on just the riding. And by the way, it's almost silent. But as with anything, the decision to buy comes down to personal choice. For me, if the bike was priced competitively, with a conventional 250cc motorcycle, and that would be with an extra battery included, I would buy one. But with its current price tag and limitations, I just don't see this bike as something for the typical everyman or everywoman rider. I'll stick with my 500 EXC. But I'd like to know what you think. Leave a comment below and let us know your take. And as usual, if you like the videos, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share. If you're a fan of the Joe Rockstar channel, please pledge as little as $1 to show your support at patreon.com/JoeRockstar. And as usual, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.